Hello, beautiful Aquarius. It's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your August 2018 Soul Tarot reading. You are looking at your cards for June, and I'm just going to roll quickly through the progression of the cards. And actually, let me say hello. Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome back. If you're new, it's wonderful to have you here. I'm doing things a little differently today. Pardon me. If you've been looking at your readings for your rising sign, your moon sign, etc., you know that there's a lot going on here at Moonrise Cottage and with the progression of my days, Spirit says. The remedy for, wow, that's interesting. I like that slip. That was a Freudian slip. The Spirit says just drop it right there. Okay. There's a lot streaming through about your process and the journey that you're on. Pardon me, my voice is really hoarse. I've been recording nonstop videos for a couple of days now. So, also, Mercury's in retrograde. There's a lot of tomfoolery going on. Yesterday, I was doing a reading and chattering along happily, and there was a black screen. There was no video streaming through. So, those are the kinds of things that happen when Mercury's retrograde. Spirit has asked me this month, and I think it's actually going to be a permanent change, to do the readings differently. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of a back seat, and I am going to, Spirit's laughing at this statement, I'm going to allow Spirit, Spirit says, as if I was in charge anyway. I'm going to just be the medium, not the driver, Spirit says. All right, so we're going to move through the cards in a way that is very unusual based on how I usually do it. All right. So, Spirit says, just be with it. All the information is going to come out. So let's jump in. I'm assuming that you all have looked at your astrology. If you don't know, I'm not an astrologer. I can't speak adequately to that, Spirit says. It is a very profound moment. There is a culmination. And Spirit says the culmination, actually, we see it in June. If you look at the center column, those are the cards for June. If you look at the center column of the reading, there was the culmination and a new beginning. Very deep, mystical. And Spirit says, if you look at the constellation of cards around the center column, you'll see some of the details. And the outcome of that reading was a prophecy. So in the center column, we have the imaginer of harmony on the bottom, the perfecter of energy that is about the completion of a cycle and the beginning of the next year. And then we have the gorgeous dreamer of growth, the star card, all about manifesting destiny. And the prophecy came forward, and we moved into the days of July. And Spirit says, here are the cards of the prophecy about bursting through illusions. We see on the bottom right the card that indicates the sacred initiate. The shamaness was there. The sacred goddess of illusion was there to help you burst through the illusions of your life. And, Spirit, again, saying, look at the center column. So in the human realm, you're going on an adventure to recapture the art of your being. And moving forward with that intention, the effect in your soul destiny, if you look up at the top, there you are in the very center, just looking into the sky, pondering, thinking about all that has transpired. And above that, we see the beautiful Queen of Knowledge. She is the weaver of the tapestry that Spirit has been talking about. And she looks into the moon card. The outcome card had to do with the sacred magician, the decider of will, setting your soul on the journey, and in a very powerful way, bringing magic into your life so that the moments of the eclipse season could come forward and bring you to, Spirit saying, bring you to the fruition, meaning actually what Spirit's talking about is the initiation of the new cycle that is coming forward on the final eclipse of the sun that is coming on the 11th of August and through the cycle of an entire full year after that. So let me just pop through for a second. Oh, see, I just did the same thing. There's the cards for August. Look at that. Aquarius? My goodness. So if you'll just pause with me just for a moment. We've been having just really unusual weather for this place where I live in. And it's been raining and storming in ways that are really intense for going on 2 weeks now, I think. So thunder just started rolling through. The sky's getting really dark. Sometimes the internet goes down. I'm going to ask for that to not happen so I can get through the video. But if need be, I may have to pause and finish the video later. Okay, so if I suddenly disappear, you'll know what happened. All right, Aquarius. Whew, I'm just going to say a couple things and then I'm going to pause and let Spirit take the lead, okay? First of all, every single card in the reading, in the body of the reading, is a major arcana card. Every single one. The outcome card is a prophecy. I did post a video on my August playlist from Pam Gregory about the astrology of these moments. It's, I believe, imperative that you go and watch that. She is very detailed. She must be a Virgo. I don't really know, but she's very detailed and very systematic about how she delivers the information and weaves it together. So if that doesn't resonate with you, just go look because okay, Spirit's popping through. All right, just you know what? I'm just give me a moment. I'm just gonna sit back and let Spirit take the reins. Spirit's asking, just look into the cards. All right, so clearly there is a profound awakening happening. Spirit would like to start with the card on the bottom row at the far right because it's obviously the initiation that happens at the eclipse and carrying you forward in all the ways that I've already spoken about. So the completion of the cycle from last month, where we did see the sacred initiate, who is here again, was, okay, Spirit saying, the last few months, all the readings for you have been prophecy, in a sense. So we now see that we're in the moment when the prophecy unfolds. That card is the protector of lore. And it is the Sun card in Soul Tarot. It has to do with standing in the joy of the simple light and the gifts of the sun, which I think it's going to rain really hard here. It's getting pretty intense. So when you stand in these moments, Aquarius, like everybody, right? Because we're all here together. You've been going through these eclipses and all the trines and Pluto standing in the sky, all the things that are going on. Jupiter, can't speak. Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury, all the planets that are retrograde. Part of the effect of that is that it drives us inward very deeply. While whatever chaos might be going on the surface, we are having another experience. And you've seen it. Spirit's talking about the volcanoes and the fires, the Mars stuff, right? And some of the Pluto and there is a reckoning going on. Absolutely. And for you, it is deeply about your mystical being and the wholeness of your soul. Okay? So this is about standing on the sacred ground of the ancients, having been transformed, and being able to come into the beautiful appreciation of just the simplicity of the energy of the sun. And Spirit's been talking about what it is to attenuate yourself to the energy of your own set point, and asking people to please take a look at the readings for your own cohort, because there are, part of what's coming through to me is there are the sacred streams of energy that flow through the each set point. So, earth, air, fire, water. Of course, they affect each other. And these things, again, Spirit's talking about the tapestry being woven together. So when you arrive into this moment and you emerge fully vested in yourself, changed, transformed, you come into a place of abundance. And it's abundance in an internal way. And, there's the sacred spiral of destiny. And that's the ground that you're standing on going forward, because you are an Aquarius, because you are all visionaries. And a really, Spirit's talking about the light body and the etheric body, all the layers. If you haven't ever seen one of those diagrams, you can go on the internet and look it up. There's our physical body, and then there are all the layers that extend out, all the way out into the universe. And that's the energy that you carry in a general way. And this month going through August, very, very powerfully and in a very particular way, right? So if you look up the right-hand column, we see the continuation of the intention of the eclipse. So the eclipse, the sun card, is the protector of lore, sacred lore. And you stand again as the initiate. That is the dedicator of lore. So in these moments, and I think there's a lot of chatter coming through about the notion of Aquarius and what it is to be an air sign, and to be able to swirl your energy. So look all the way up to the top of that column. To take on your mantle, to take on your sacred amulet, to be initiated into something very sacred, secret knowledge, very devotional, and to stand in the mystery of it. That is the sacred goddess of sacrifice, who bestows the amulet on the initiate, who stands there blindfolded, ready to leap into the mystery with utter trust and faith that what is to come forward is meant to be. And I love that above that, on the soul level, we see the beautiful balancer of harmony. I'm going to read to you from the book. Hang on one sec, I left it in the wrong spot. So, in traditional tarot, that would be the Justice card. It's about Libra. It's more indication of air sign energy. It's about a sacred goddess. Once again, the balancer of harmony shows the goddess of safe passage. So when you think about that notion, what is happening for you on the eclipse and in the days of August and going forward for the next year, Spirit is saying this will be your journey. And you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your soul, you may actually feel it in your physical body, because the energy is so deep, so intense. And the vibration of this reading is, Spirit's talking about the concept of levitation, right? You are going to feel it change your being. So to assure you and to guide you, and Spirit says, and to hold you as you go through this process over the next year and the intense moments of the eclipse, we see the beautiful goddess Ellen. She is known as the steerswoman, and she was invoked by all travelers, especially seafarers, and in the ancient days, she was known as the goddess of the waves. She is depicted as a Celtic dancer in this card. She opens the ways, both the roads and the sea routes, as well as the dream ways, giving free passage to those who take the trouble to map their own soul's route. This Celtic archetype was later absorbed into the stories about Saint Helena, the mother of Constantine the Great. Ellen/Helen remained a popular figure in medieval legend, though her roadways became less open by the cross of the Christ. The balancer of harmony opens the way, but also guards them. A life lived in full integrity is one that submits to all its motivations and the actions that bring it to dedicate itself to truth rather than seeking to find out how the truth may be bent to serve your will. And so the sole question is, what is it that keeps you in balance with the universe? All right, so Spirit would like you to, again, bring your attention to the bottom right-hand card. Look upward diagonally to the left. When you go through this eclipse, the card in the very center that represents you, your actual being, your Spirit says your human being, as it relates to your soul travel, that's the Chariot card. The beautiful mover of energy. So the Spirit's saying, within each one of these cards, and there's a lot of, also take note, Spirit says, in the mystical realm, most of the cards that are on the table, predominantly feminine, it is all about the sacred portal. Although the eclipse is, in a sense, a male event, and it is the male energy that drives it, if you will, forward. If you look at the outcome card, the prophecy, and if we look at the initiate, that's a male figure. But it is the feminine power that brings this forward and opens the way. So Spirit wants you to ponder that very deeply. I've been chattering for a year and a half about male and female energy, the yin and yang. What happens when they are able, Spirit saying, to marry, to blend, to bond, fuse together. So for you this month, you are going, what Spirit is saying to me is, it's not just about the eclipse. It's about all the things that are happening in the cosmos and the way in which Spirit says, we're giving you every feminine portal that we possibly can, all joined together so that you can have this journey because you're going so deep. And the time, okay, Spirit's saying, your time is about to prevail here. And because you are an air sign, you travel. If you think about the atmosphere and wind and what happened, the need for the atmosphere so that everything else that is required to have life on this planet, it is deeply tied. The place where the earth meets the sky. The way in which the water element cycles. The way in which fire needs air just to exist. That's the depth of your being. So we see the beautiful empowerer. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm talking about the mover of the energy. Okay. So in the major arcana of the deck, this beautiful young woman is the Chariot card. This is about, and Spirit says, take note of the position in which she exists. The place, Spirit says, the place she has taken up in your life. That is the card that represents you. It represents triumph, success. Due to initiative and self-discipline, obstacles are overcome. It is about self-mastery and being in control of one's own circumstances. It is about travel, obviously, moving forward, and speed. The mover shows Epona, the ancient nameless goddess of the chariot. During the nomadic phase in the peoples across the European continent, the image of the goddess was carried about in a covered wagon or a chariot, tended by the priestess. Offerings were made to her. She is a pan-Celtic goddess who is the matron not only of horses, but of passing over and through obstacles. She is also known as the one who opens the gates of the underworld. In the ancient days, it was believed that the chariot of the sun was borne by horses across the sky. And that's why Spirit's saying, look at the way the energy rises on the diagonal. These energies are very deeply linked, and Spirit's talking about the ability of the air sign, the sky, to utilize and refract light. So I'm getting images about rainbows, things like that. All the things that happen in the sky element, because you are able to attenuate all the things that happen, because the atmosphere is ever present in every place in which we reside. So if you look upward to the top left, that is the beautiful Queen of Knowledge, who sits suspended in the universe with her sacred loom, weaving together the strings of your destiny. She is very clear, she is wise, she is kind, she is highly developed. I would like to make note, Spirit says, if you notice the direction in which she is looking, and then look across the top row and notice the direction that Spirit is saying Ellen is looking. Again, another sort of image, Spirit says, of the all-seeing nature that you possess, looking in all directions, affecting all that exists, and bringing what exists here on the earth literally to touch the universe. So Spirit's jumping back to the center column. On the earth element, the human realm, the bottom row, in the middle, we see the shaper of growth. That is the Sacred Mother. She helps souls cross over between the worlds at a moment of birth and brings with them all the bounty, all the gifts, all the things they will need to have their journey. And she is supporting, if you will, the Chariot card, the sacred mover of energy. And on the top, we see another sacred goddess. That is the mingler of energy. And Spirit's asking me to read to you from the book about the divinatory nature of this beautiful goddess. That is the goddess Coventina, actually. You know what? I'm going to show you the card. Hang on one second. Look at that. It's one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. You are the vessel upon which Coventina has all her attention. She is the sacred alchemist, here to blend together all the strings of your energy patterns. And there's the portal that is available to you as Spirit's talking about two things: the cycles of the moon and the days of all the eclipses that have come forward. This is Spirit saying this is the effect it has had in a general sense, definitely on within your person, but Spirit is saying upon your being. Okay, the beautiful mingler of energy, and your energy being delivered to her through the goddess Epona of the chariot, who drew her chariot across the sky, across the sun. It's an incredibly beautiful reading. The mingler of energy shows the goddess Coventina, the goddess of the Holy Spring. It's interesting that one of the things that's been coming through, just a side note, we started this eclipse season with Cancer, and it is the water element that's running through all the readings. It's been fascinating to me to watch it. And Spirit's talking about the implications of the tapestry and the reason that readings are changing and how we're going to be now given the opportunity to see more deeply the implications of that. So Spirit just wanted to asked me to let you know, to think of, ponder that. All right. So Coventina was a very popular goddess of the wellspring, and women would leave offerings in return for safe delivery from childbirth, pardon me. The deities of the waters were among the most primal spirits venerated by the pre-Celtic peoples. And there were many rites and many offerings at ancient wells, springs, and lakes, and they continue to this day throughout Europe. Coventina is aligned with another sacred goddess, Rosmerta, who is often shown churning milk into butter. Both goddesses provide body and soul with suitable nurture while transmuting opposites. The mingler of energy modifies our actions. It is by her vigorous churning that milk becomes butter and that our unformulated aspects become solidified. The ability to combine, to draw out the right decision or idea for circumstances, lies in her gifts. And the sole question is, what is experience teaching you? In a sense, part of the message in this column that we're looking at has everything to do with the nature of change and the way your soul comes through into your human habitation, Spirit says, in these days, because of the momentous things that are happening astrologically. And that then carries you and connects you very directly with the soul journey that you're on and all the sacred goddesses on the top row at your soul, here to weave together the strings of your destiny, to mingle your energy together, and to balance that which is a result of the journey. This is so mystically beautiful. I've never seen a reading like this before. Okay, so Spirit says, let's take a look at the column on the far left, on the human realm. There we see the beautiful keeper of harmony. This is male energy. It is about placing sacred knowledge in order to create a certain type of function, if you will, into a central position within your life so that the harmony that is meant to come forward out of your journey can be shared and maintained. So this is about, in traditional tarot, it would be the Emperor card. So, there we have the Emperor standing next to the Sacred Mother. For the moment of the eclipse, this is how you are accompanied. An enormous amount of power. So, the Emperor, it's about leadership, stability, the ability to bring harmony of orderly peace. It's about being independent, autonomous. It indicates authority, intelligence, benevolence, self-assurance, all the things that an emperor would have. So the keeper shows the ruler of the people that is recognized across the Celtic world. And the book goes on, it talks about regional chieftains and the rulers of the tribes that all came under the fatherly eye of the keeper of harmony. A strong ruler or over king could reconcile factions and galvanize tribes into a common purpose. Arthur was the most famous leader to have borne the title of the keeper. He was venerated for bringing long periods of peace and prosperity. The keeper of harmony maintains the order of life. As the father of his people, he will not let them fall into chaos and dissension. And the sole question is, what is the authority with which you possess your humanity, your own sense of being a human being? Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Being in command of destiny. That's the notion that's coming through from Spirit. And So Spirit's talking about, again, yin and yang, right? So I'm going to toggle back to the cards. The keeper of harmony, initiating the human walk with all the things embedded within that notion that just were read, delivering into the sacred feminine. So, the masculine setting us on our journey, initiating that which is coming forward. And the desire and the need for the complement, Spirit says, the shaper of growth. The shaper of growth, the great mother, the triple mother, actually, who was venerated by Celtic peoples all around Europe, all about bearing fruit. The triple mothers, the triple deities, the triple goddess, were the midwives of the soul, and they nurtured it with qualities that enable it to respond to the good things of life. They imbue the soul with its instinct, or mother wit, the basic common sense by which we are protected and sustained. And so the soul question is, what spiritual nature is your soul seeking? I love that there's thunder going on in the background. I hope you can hear it. So, on the human realm, whatever it is that you're seeking, that you feel in your soul, the way you feel connected, your ability to travel across the sun in the sacred chariot and have a conversation and an experience through the portal of the mingler of energy, having all the safety and the gifts and the abundance you need for the journey in order to bring forward the soul destiny that is meant for you. It's truly beautiful. So Spirit says it's the first thing and the last thing about the body of the reading. If you look at the center row and you look at the far left, that is the beautiful guardian of truth. So these are all the aspects that are here just to surround you, like the air exists and we stand and we don't even think about it. It is with us at all times. And these are the elements. Spirit says, this is, let me toggle back over for a sec. So this is the attenuation that Spirit was talking about. And wanting to make it extraordinarily clear for you because of the intention of the eclipse for the air sign people. And, Spirit's asking, I probably already said it, but go look at some of the other readings so that you understand the energy that it's at work on the earth, that you are going to be working with as the air element when these energies rise and swirl through the atmosphere. That's why the reading is the way it is, because you are going to receive all of this along with everything that's happening in your own life. All right. So, in a sense, you are standing at the sacred gateway. There's the high priestess. She is the guardian of the gateway and the guardian of truth. And there again is another depiction of the sacred mother. She holds her power. She's highly activated at the heart chakra, and she is able to bring destiny forward. So, while we're, okay, I'm going to toggle back. While we're talking about all these things, Spirit wants you to look across from the left to the right, the center row of cards. When you go through an initiation, I was just talking about this in one of the other readings. I think it was fire sign reading. Those of you who've been through those kind of ceremonies understand what I'm about to say, but if you haven't, Spirit wants you to know this is the moment into which you're standing. You come to the ceremony, the grounds of the sacred place where the initiation takes place, and you have to stand at the gateway. And you have, for many cultures, you step into a circle or a hut or something like that, Spirit says. And you go through a period of questioning about the truth of your intention and why you would like to move in the direction that a sacred initiate goes and move into the experience of being initiated and being drawn across the sun, Spirit says. So that is how the energy moves in the central core of the reading, across from this center row from left to right, and then in the center column. That's the intersection of the energies, and the attenuation is on the corners. All right. So, in case I forgot to say it, look at both corners. Look at the energy, how it moves forward. And okay, so Spirit's telling me, yeah, do it. So, the beautiful Emperor card, the Keeper of Harmony, initiates the desire and delivers it into the sacred goddess Epona, who can draw it across the sun at the eclipse, moving the energy forward into the realm of the beautiful Balancer of Harmony, the goddess in the sacred realm. So everything that's happening within your own being this month is directly connected to the divine impulses and intentions that exist in the universe. When you move through your process and you take up your initiation, I would suggest pull a rune for yourself. Spirit saying, go to the cards, find a symbol that represents some piece of wisdom, and make yourself a necklace, and literally, truly put it around your neck, and walk with it for the next year of your life. As you walk deeper into the mystical meaning of this reading and the prophecy that is meant to come because of the moment that you're standing in, right? There's the outcome card. A prophecy, that's what an augury is. A new starting point because of the new skills that you're going to be developing and sending out through the ethers. Just like we see depicted here, Spirit says, right? We're human, we sit upon the earth, but you've been extraordinarily transformed. Your will is unblocked. Your heart chakra is open. You have the ability, the freedom to move like the air, like the wind, like the rain, all the elements, Spirit says. Don't worry about what this means. Just understand the concept, because what is intended to go forward clearly will arrive. You don't have to worry about it. So this young warrior is wielding the sacred spear of Lu, who is the king of art, the pathfinder, the remover of blockages, in order to make sure that your journey back and forth to the mystical realm is not impeded. And so when you come through this incredible, literal transformation in a very quiet, powerful, sacred way, and Spirit keeps talking about the mystery of the air signs, the mystery of the atmosphere, all the things that the notion of atmosphere indicates, just ponder that as you go through the next year, and you're going to feel these energies inside of you. I feel certain about it because of the way the cards are. A great shift and change, obviously. And a prophecy about what will happen next as you go forward, transformed, but fully vested with a very powerful instrument in order to send that which you understand, that which you feel inside of yourself. Spirit's been talking through all the readings about love energy. I was just meditating this morning when the cards came out. I thought, all right, I got to go meditate because I don't even know what to say about this other than to just walk you through the cards. So just understand there's nothing you have to do. What you are meant to, the activity you're meant to be having through the eclipse is to merely, simply, under the light of the sun, be in a place of joy to the best of your ability. Feel the energy swirling within you. What it is to stand outside and feel the breeze. What does that mean? Spirit's saying, here in the United States, we experience, or in the Caribbean, etc., hurricanes, right? It's not about The moment where, the instant they coalesce, actually, Spirit's asking me to show you something else. It's not about that. They actually, the energy that brings that forward in the west part of the world starts on the plains of Africa. It is the wind and the movement and the way it takes up the water and the way the heat of the earth rises and all the swirl of all of those things that eventually meets the waters in the Atlantic and a hurricane forms. Intense amount of force. Spirit is saying so many words like that to help you understand. All right. So as you go through your days, Spirit says, do your best to just really truly allow yourself to feel the swirl of energy. And if you get confused and something happens and you have an awakening, go to a shaman, go to a healer, come to me, and we'll do a reading. Okay? It's going to be, okay, the only word that keeps coming through is momentous shift and change. Aquarius, thank you. I hope that I have done my best to help you understand the movement, the swirl of energy, the wind that blows through your soul and your human existence. As you stand at the gateway of the eclipse, preparing to draw the energy across the sun in order to take up your mantle and begin to step into the energy of the prophecy of the days going forward because of the air energy that is happening in the light of the sun. Simple joy, simple clarity, understanding your deep nature and all the attenuation of the different factors that make up your energy set point as an air sign. Aquarius, thank you very much for being here with me. Spirit saying thank you for being willing to become visible so that the concepts that live within the swirl of your energy can be a blessing to every co-walker on this planet. Have a wonderful month. I'm very eager to hear from you. Please put some messages on the thread below the video as you go through the month and let me know how this feels to you, what you see unfolding, and you're talking about your inner landscape. All right? And if Spirit's saying, if you look at the cards, you'll understand. If you sit in meditation or prayer or however you do your sacred practice, you're really going to feel the effects of that deeply. You're in deep connection with the divine this month. Weaving the strings of your destiny, churning the various energies that you send into the universe in order to bring balance to this realm. It's beautiful. Have a wonderful month. I will look very much forward to speaking with you in September.